DZ, EDL, week 5. We're back. Another video. Some would say we're late. I say we were just early the first few weeks. I say we overachieved the first few weeks of the season. We're right on time as always. How you doing?
Good, Nate, and I agree, man. I think the guys are a little bit spoiled. You know, they're begging for the video on Wednesday, begging
Spoiled.
for the video on Thursday. Make them wait. Make
That
them wait.
you know, that's a good word, spoiled. I like that. We're gonna talk about week 5, which holy shit, this may be the best week so far in the EDL. The matchups are insane. Awesome week 5. We got to talk about week 4. We're gonna recap what week 4 brought to the EDL. We had 6 teams, if you remember right, that were 3-1. Only one of the teams fell. That was Edwards. Went down, had a couple of bye weeks. Started the bye weeks. He had Le'Veon Bell out. I think he had another big name, so they hit him a little bit. So
Kittle.
So we now
Kittle.
have 5 teams that are 4-1. And DZ, let me tell you, go down the history lane. This is the first time since doubleheaders, this is the 6th year of doubleheaders. Can you believe that?
Damn, I wouldn't have guessed that long.
Yeah, I went through it, but this is the first time in the 6 years of doubleheaders that at this point in the season there's been 5 teams 4-1 or better. There's only been twice that there was 3 teams 4-1 or better. So that's the second best. It happened twice, 3 teams. We have 5 this year. A lot of teams at the top. A lot of jockeying for positions. Tight divisions. It's been a good start to the year. Looking back at week 4, we had Nick Chubb and Chris Godwin. They both cracked the top 10 in points scored. Had up over 40 points for the year. What else do we have going on here? We had a lot of trades. Let's just go into trades. Let's talk about the trades. We've been going down the trades. You were busy. I think this is the year we got to get you center screen, and then let me go look at these trades.
Has Gurley been traded twice since our last show? Or did we talk about him in the last show?
I believe we talked about Gurley in our last show.
Okay.
And then we talked about Marvin Jones right after. So the first one we got to talk about, we had a trade between me and you, 2 very similar trades. So probably you can talk about it. We'll just group them together. You got Vic Beasley off me for $10. You got Robert Quinn off me for 15. You just paying for some defense, I'm guessing.
Man, you robbed me, Nate, but I have no choice. My defense is so fucking ass. And these guys are probably just gonna fit right in because they're ass too. But I gotta do it. I gotta do something.
I was definitely hurting after my big trade with Pete on eBucks. I gave away 40 of them. So being able to recoup some of that, I was had to do the deal. Had to do it. Let's move on to another trade. This one with some players in it. Yourself and Matt completed a trade. You gave up Damian Williams, O.J. Howard, 2 second-round picks, and you received Devonta Freeman, Philip Dorsett, and a 4th. What the hell were you thinking?
I looked at the 2022 class, and I really draft. No, Nate, come on, bro. Hey, listen, I had to get out of that Chiefs situation. I made a bad trade this offseason for Damian Williams, but man, I mean, LaShawn McCoy looks better than him. And now they got college fullback guy, Darrell Williams, doing work. You know, so like I just had to get out of that situation. OJ was breaking my heart. So I just went and got Devontae. Hopefully he can rebound. He got me 20 points last week, Nate. 20 points, I'm pretty happy. I feel like he's, right there on par with Todd Gurley, and I didn't have to give up a bunch of firsts.
I will say the 2 second-round picks you gave were from Seward and Pete. Theoretically, or history, more often those are probably going to be later second-round picks, although they're seconds. You never know when they could turn out. But I think this was a good deal for Matt. I think Matt had to make this deal when offered.
Yeah.
So, man, DZ, you're
golf clap.
Golf clap. You're bugging a little on the screen a little bit. I might have to. Okay, I think we're better now. I think we're better. Let's look at our last trade
That's
of
fine.
the week.
We're good. As long as they can hear my voice, that's all it is.
Last trade we're gonna look at is between Pete is wheeling and dealing. This is the second time Gurley got traded. So Pete received from me a week ago or so Matt Ryan, Wayne Gallman, Todd Gurley, and Marvin Jones in a pick and some money. He flipped 2 of those pieces already. Todd Gurley in this trade, Marvin Jones last week, both to Robbie. But let's look at this trade. Wolf of Dynasty Street gave up Tevin Coleman and Todd Gurley. Robbie gave up a second-round pick in 2020 this year, a third-round pick this year, another third-round pick this year. Next year's 2021 first round and a 2022 first round. So a second, 2 thirds, and 2 firsts, 2 future firsts for Todd Gurley and Tevin Coleman. Let's start from Robbie's side. Gave up a couple future firsts, a little bit of capital this year, got 2 running backs. Good move? Did he pay too much, too little, just right? How do you feel about that?
I mean, this is tough right here. I mean, Robbie probably hasn't competed since the Island days. I'm thinking, it's been a long time since Robbie has been in this spot right here. So I don't really blame him too much. He's got to make this move. But at the same time, it's like I'm kind of leaning towards what Jerome's talking about. This guy might be, as Todd Gurley, he might be damaged goods, man. I mean, it's time to face the music. I know he keeps, getting a couple gifted touchdowns. And that'll probably continue all year, so it'll probably help him for this year. But looking back, next. Did you get all that? You're just sitting there.
You said looking back next, and then
you're
going blank.
Oh, sorry. Looking back next year, this trade might look bad for Robbie.
Oh, okay.
I would assume. I mean, Todd Gurley, little damaged goods there, so we'll see what happens though.
Okay, so
it's hard to judge a trade right away.
Right. Well, you got some good Todd Gurley numbers this week if you want to judge it right away. Pete.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wheeling and dealing, kind of gaining assets back, getting rid of Todd Gurley and Tevin Coleman. Weird move? Do you think it was a weird move?
I think Pete somewhat panicked last week with Saquon and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, Melvin Gordon comes back. Wayne Gallman shows out in his first game. And he's like, well, I think in his heart of hearts, Pete feels the same way about Gurley that we do. And he wanted to recoup those pieces, and he did really well. I like I know it looks kind of like what the fuck moment, but I think he did a good job and kind of salvaging this. It could have ended up bad if he was on the back end of that Gurley, owning Gurley when he does.
You think if that Melvin Gordon news drops, Pete still makes that trade last week or no?
Well, I think Gallman and it was a combination of Gallman and Gurley. And plus, Pete's also, he picked up Shaq Barrett early in the year. This guy's got a plethora of really good defensive players. He ain't scared to go 3 linebackers, 4 linebackers, where most teams like Jerome, they're forced to. Pete's like, well, I can actually put these guys in, and I can perform with most teams' 4th running backs, 3rd running backs,
Yes, sir. That's a trade discussion. Look at last week, confidence picks. It was a shitty week as far as just the pick'ems go. Matt did the best last week where he missed 6 of all the games. He missed 6 teams. That was the best. A lot of 7 game misses and 8. Shitty week. We'll see who get back at it. Survivor pool got a little too cute. I took the Rams, myself, and both Chris Anderson. I might have. I don't know what I was thinking. That hot take was too hot with the Dolphins not going Phillip Rivers and the Chargers.
Absolutely.
Bit me in the ass there. Still scrolling down. Let's look at some.
I feel like I told you that too.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, definitely too hot. Looking at I even said that the Dolphins would cover, and they didn't. So I would have. That was definitely a bad call, Nate. Look at the power rankings. I believe this is a new number one atop the power rankings list. Pete, Wolf of Dynasty Street. I think this is the first time he was up there. Do you remember last week or not? Off the top of your head?
I do not recall. I know Robbie was chattering in the Telegram about that shit. I don't know if I think he went from 1 to 4.
Yeah, so
it might have been Robbie last week.
Yeah, so Pete up here, number one, the first person to crack 1,000 points scored, has tied with Tito up here with your all-play percentage. That's nice. Just one more note. Obviously, at the top, we got a ton of 4-1 teams. Those are legit. But squeezed in the middle of all that is a 2-3. Russell and Flo, Birdman, mixing it up with the big dogs with the 2-3 record. Maybe a little better than his record shows. That's always been a tight division up there. But maybe Birdman, the power rankings show something the standings don't. Couple side notes. Man, I had the paper sitting over here. I think I forgot to mention.
Fucking love side notes.
Blind bidding. There were no blind bids this week, so no adjustments. I think I forgot to mention the adjustments last week, and I forgot to type them in. But it was the running back, Damian Williams. Is it Damian? What's his name? The Chiefs guy?
Daryl
Williams.
Daryl.
Kyle Allen, I believe, to Seward. And there was one more adjustment. I got that paper somewhere right here. But anyways, my point is if you have any questions ever on the blind bidding bids, when they were placed, the adjustments, all of that stuff, you can text me and I can even just show you because after the fact it doesn't really matter. But I can go into the history of stuff and get that taken care of. And, if anyone needs to see anything or whatever, any of the bids you can go back and find them, basically.
Full disclosure here, Nate.
Huh. Full disclosure?
Full disclosure here.
Also, some people may have noticed there was a contract given out. Chris Jerome, he gave Daryl Williams a contract later than allowed. There was some miscommunication on when eligible and whatever. So we don't do this often. But we're going to give him a mulligan on the contract and let him have a 3-year deal. But again, if you have any questions beforehand, ask me or any of the blind bidding stuff. Ask, ahead of time and I can check your stuff. This will not be given to anybody else. They're given again. The rule of you have to give him a contract before he plays in a game. Game started, not by your roster, but like game played in, or he's a 1-year deal. You got any questions? Text me about it. All that good stuff. Let's get into week 4 recaps, DZ. And then we'll get to week 5. We got to be talking about you some respect. Did anyone earn your respect last week?
Got it. Bro, it was so long. Let me take a look. Oh, yeah, dude. Chris Jerome, man. Getting his first dub and beating a pretty good Casey squad that is struggling to get a win right now.
That's a good one for some respect. I'm going to go Tito. I feel like I've gone Tito before. We should keep track of who's gotten respect to see who has the most respect points this year. I feel like that's a good idea. But Tito had a week with Patrick. I feel like Tito's good, but let's get real. I sort of also feel like Patrick Mahomes carries him at some point, but I mean, it's a good guy to have. But Patrick Mahomes under 20 points. I don't know if he's ever done that as a starter, but Tito still put up 264 with Mahomes under 20 points. We'll look at that a little bit later, but definitely flexing some depth on his roster. So Tito, little respect earned. One more point. Let's start at the top. First game, we got myself and Seward. I believe this is the 3rd week out of 4. I put up low points. What the fuck? Yeah. I don't know.
Are you low points?
Again.
Yeah, you are. Definitely.
Any thoughts? Just give me some
lucky.
subs and duds. Let's make this quick. Make the paint quick.
Oh, you want Seward's first or yours?
I'll just point out before we start this that Seward picked the quarterback wrong once again. He went with Kyler Murray, but it was wrong. Derek Carr outscored him. That's all I want to say.
That's funny. All right, Nate. Let's start out. Let's on a good note for you. Kinda. You're pay dirt in this one. 20.4 points, 2 sacks, 1 pass defense. He's on my team now. But hey, at least you got something for him. 15 E-bucks or something to sneeze at right there. And I got for your Joe Dirts, Nate, are Nyheim Hines and TJ Hawkinson. They screwed you on this one. And I'm going to tell you why.
Well, Hawkinson died.
Absolutely. Every single one of your offensive players was in single digits. But these two fucking overachievers, man. Nyheim Hines had to go for 11.1 and Hawk had to go for 11.7, ruining Nate's single-digit midgets right here.
No. All right, tell me more about Seward.
Seward. There we go. I mean, who do you think his pay dirt is?
McCaffrey.
I think anybody can guess this.
Fucking guy.
Dude. Yeah, C-Mac 39.3. Nate, you take away his 10.5 he had on Thursday Night Football against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This guy is averaging nearly 40 points a game. What a stud.
He's a beast. All right, give me the bud.
Okay, this guy's got to get out of your lineup, Stewart. I don't know what the fuck you're thinking. James Washington is fucking trash. Another goose egg here for James Washington. Look, Nate, this guy, this is crazy to me. Let's talk about the snaps for the 3 receivers in Pittsburgh. Juju, 43. Your boy, Deontay Johnson, 37. James Washington, 45. Bro, he's a decoy. He's Travis Benjamin. He's like, just run a fucking 9 route so we can open it up for our running backs and other people.
He might be Travis Benjamin. I actually like that. I like that right now. Let's move on to our next matchup. We got Jerome, like you said, getting a win. Casey getting let down a little bit with some offensive guys. Let's start with Casey. Could have gone a couple different ways on duds here.
Yeah, well,
Joe Dirts.
We're going Joe Dirt here?
Yep, Joe Dirt for Casey.
Tom Brady. I mean, Tom Brady, this is disgusting. I mean, how frustrating is this? Jameis Winston drops 37.1 against the Rams in LA, and then you obviously have to start Tom Brady, and he gives you a 4.3 against Buffalo. And you know what's funny? We were talking about it was in the chat. I think maybe it was Robbie. I'm just going to fuck with Robbie all week. Fuck that guy. Anyways, never mind. I love you, Robbie. But anyways, they were talking about how's Buffalo 3-0? Well, this is how they're 3-0. Their fucking defense is amazing. And you see him hold Tom Brady, one of the greatest of all time, or the greatest of all time, to 4.3.
Who's his pay dirt?
I got his primetime players. I got 3 guys here, all guys that play on either Monday night or Sunday night. Cameron Hayward had 24 points on Monday night. Von Bell had 20.1 on Sunday night, and Lattimore chipped in with 10.2 on Sunday night as well. Good defense for Casey in this one. On primetime games, still not enough, though.
Okay, let's look at Jerome. Give me his pay dirt. Jerome getting it done.
A-Rod. It's funny. I messaged him during this game. I'm, just kind of fucking with him a little bit. I'm like, when's A-Rod going to have a good game? And he had like 14 points at the time. And he ended up blowing up for 30. And really, there should have been a lot more. Jimmy Graham dropped touchdowns. Who was the one that – was it Marcus Valdez-Scantling that dropped the slant? Or was that Allison? I can't remember. Someone dropped a touchdown late in that game. It could have been a lot more for A-Rod. But finally, almost a 30-point game from A-Rod. It's got to feel good.
Yep. Give me his Joe Dirt.
Oh, this fucking hurts me so bad, dude. This guy needs to go, and he's on a shit team, bro. It's Joe Mixon, man. Joe Mixon's absolutely killing him. Like he's literally giving Jerome no options here. He's not producing for him so he can win games during the season, and then he's not producing enough to where he could potentially move him. People aren't going to get excited about this guy besides me unless he starts popping off. And that team is so bad right now. I mean, it's just not Joe's fault, and you know it, Nate. But Joe Mixon's the Joe Dirt in this one.
That's tough situation for Joe Mixon. Next game was a pretty good game here. We had Russell and Flo Birdman versus Tito. Like I mentioned, Patrick Mahomes with 18.6 points, but he still put up 264. Look at these potential points, both over 300 here. This was a dogfight, this matchup. Give me Tito getting it done. Let's start with Tito. Give me his pay dirt.
I got a bunch of notes here. Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Jarvis Landry. I got Jarvis Landry here. 24.7 points. It wasn't a lot. All right. Yeah, it was in a win, actually. Sorry. 8 catches, 167 yards. Nate, this guy, they're talking about him falling off a lot this year, but he's getting the targets. We're talking 7 in week 1, 7 in week 2, 9, and then 10 last week. Man, really, when I looked this up, I was like trying to figure out what's the problem here. It's Baker Mayfield. This guy is not being accurate this year. Landry and Odell, catchable target percentage this year, 69.6 and 70%. One of the bottom 2 in the league at that stat. Mayfield's letting them down here, and if Mayfield can get it going, Odell and Jarvis might be in store for a good rest of the way.
Who is this Joe Dirt?
Josh Allen. Oh, sorry. I'm sitting there like looking for the fucking quarterback. I'm a retard. No, Josh Allen, the defensive end from Jacksonville. I mean, you look. He got a little bit of rookie fever. Josh Allen had. I got myself, Nate. What the fuck? I did these notes like 3 days ago. Anyways, Josh Allen. He had 20.4 in week 3. I'm sure Tito got a little rookie fever, threw him in there, and he got about 2.6 in this one. I'm sure he'll have better days, but this time, I mean, fuck, dude, Tito's has such good games from a lot of people. It's hard to pick fucking Joe Dirt's on teams that score 260 plus.
Right, you're gonna have the same.
So that's the route I went. Josh Allen.
The same sort of ordeal over here with Chris Anderson. Who let him down?
Oh my God, his was the real tough one. I mean, I'm not gonna pick the guy who almost got put in a wheelchair, for God's sake. So we're not. Russell Wilson. I mean, this is funny saying this the day after he blew up against the Rams, but I mean, he was in Arizona, sweet ass matchup. They really didn't need his production in this one, and he only got him 16.1.
Yeah.
When both his backups got 28, whatever, Jacoby Brissett being one of them.
How much did he lose by? 7? Nah, he still won 1. Give me his pay dirt. Who made it kind of close?
Not the Griffin Spiker. I mean, there was a lot of guys I could have picked from here, but I mean, just a guy that I love that I let go in a trade this offseason, and he went and snatched up. Smart guy. Kenny Golladay, man, 2 touchdowns, almost a third. He had one that it looked like he caught. The ref called it correctly. The ball was kind of wobbling around. But, yeah, Kenny Golladay balled out against the Chiefs. Really good game for Kenny Golladay.
Yes, sir. Moving right along, we got the high points of the week. We were talking about potential another 300. Didn't get there. The potential points was 340, but 289.4. Wolf of Dynasty Street, probably why he's atop the power rankings right now. Puts it on over Edwards. Edwards going with Minshew. Good call.
Finally.
It wasn't enough. Edwards had a lot of he was boom or bust week. He had high 20s in some spots and then a lot of sub 10s. Kind of similar for Pete. Anyways, let's start at the Wolf of Dynasty Street. And I'm going to start. You had 27 from Todd Gurley. I hope that was your pay dirt. And you got rid of him. He did nothing wrong to you. You let him go, and he scores 2 more touchdowns. Who is your pay dirt for Pete?
Well, clearly it's not Todd Gurley, as impressive as that 27 is. I mean, he had a bunch of guys better. Wayne Gallman. I could have went Wayne Gallman here. I didn't. Obviously, I went Nick Chubb here. 3 touchdowns, 165 yards, and maybe the fucking run of the year. 88-yard scamper where he fucking is apparently faster than a fucking cheetah.
Apparently.
Not quite fast as a cheetah. Not quite fast as a cheetah, but maybe like an ostrich or something. like a drunk ostrich.
Who let him down? If I had to guess, it's the same guy we've been picking every week.
Same team. Odell.
Yeah,
I
same
mean,
guy. I think
you
this
know,
is multiple time we picked Odell.
2 catches, 20 yards. I mean, he had a great fucking pass in this game that probably would have got him some nice points, but the receiver, Damian Ratley,
What's your
let him down.
What's your
But yeah, Odell in this one.
What's your worryometer? 1 to 10 for Odell. How worried are you?
Nah, he's fine because this is the deal. Mayfield's gonna get it going. That's it. You heard it here first. Mayfield's gonna get it going. Odell, I feel like his notorious second half killer. It's over. He's good. Odell's fine. Get him in all your redrafts. I told you guys to get Devontae Adams in all your redrafts last week. So what if he's got turf toe? Get him. Get Odell too.
Let's look at the next game. We got. Oh wait, did we skip?
You did skip over Matt Edwards. The disrespect. This is twice you've done this to him.
Is it?
This is twice. Yeah, the week 1 you did it. He had to hit me up on Telegram and ask me, "Hey, who was my Pay Dirts and Joe Dirts?"
That's funny. That's right. All right, Edwards. He fucking lost. What do you have to say about him?
Do we want his negative? He had some nice games here. I got a few Pay Dirts just because I could do that. I'm just trying to throw the guy a bone after he gets fucking obliterated by Pete. James Conner finally showed up, 28.5. Robert Woods finally showed up, 29.4. These are all guys that finally showed up for Edwards and he lost. Kind of funny. Von Miller, 21.2, finally showed up in this one. And as Joe Dirt, Nate, let me see if I can get this zoomed in on the camera. Can you guys see that? Can you read what that says?
No, read it for us.
Yeah, my handwriting's beautiful.
It looks like chicken scratch.
You can't see that right there?
It's kind of blurry. You need a better webcam.
Oh, my God. I know this is not quality production here. It said, D-Hop, what the fuck? What the fuck is going on here with D-Hop, Nate?
7.1.
Maybe T.Y. Hilton should be ranked ahead of him in your rankings.
He's better. He's got the target share of like 27%, one of the best in the league. T.Y. Hilton, the GOAT. Coming back this week. He's questionable. Chiefs, he's ready.
Anyways, fuck T.Y. Anyways, take away D-Hop's first week against the Saints where he dropped like 31.1. He's averaging 9.6 points per game, Nate. That would make him wide receiver 59 among average in the EDL.
Hey, did you give me a number on Odell for worryometer? What was your number?
Oh, you wanted a number on this?
1 through 10. Play the game with me.
A 3.
A 3? All right, D-Hop then.
A 3.
What's your worryometer on D-Hop?
A 1.
A 1? Fair enough.
A 1.
Fair enough.
Well, that's nice. I try to I mean, come on. Dude, bro, it's D-Hop, right? It's D-Hop.
You never know.
It's Odell.
Shitty quarterback.
I mean, if you ask me, like, my worryometer.
Oh, I got one.
If you ask me my worryometer on, like, John Ross, that's different.
Shut up.
I mean, that's different. It's like a fucking.
All right. Our next game, we got
The
Robbie
fucking meters person.
and fucking Matt. Robbie putting up a measly 201, but getting the victory. Lamar Jackson balling out. I'll let you tell me who the pay dirt was.
You know, it's funny. I never seen anyone puff their chest out as hard as I seen Robbie do that this week after dropping a 201. Like, I'm excited about a 201, man. Anyways, good win, Robbie. And actually, this guy's been pretty huge for him, bro. I wrote some notes down on this guy. Austin Hooper, man, 22 points. He had a 20-plus point game last week. He outscored Julio and Ridley by 6.3 combined. And he's got 33 targets this year. He's getting the ball thrown to him in that offense. Dirk Cutter, chucking him the ball. Finally, Austin Hooper showing up.
We liked him coming out a handful of
Absolutely.
years ago. It takes tight ends a minute. You got to give them 8-year deals to really reap the rewards.
Dude, Nate, you're going to be really strong on the tight end position in like 2025.
Let's talk about who was his Joe Dirt. That's who I'm going to keep for Halloween.
I'm going to keep harping on this guy. And he had, I think, one good game against the Raiders, so everybody got real fucking excited. But Mecole Hardman, he's not a starter. And once Tyreek comes back, you might as well put him on. You might as well just fucking throw him in the trash because it's done. Mecole Hardman's trash.
All right, let's talk about Matt's team. Who brought him down? Who made him lose? Who gets the blame?
Nate, finally you get to argue that your trade with him made sense in the preseason. Mohamed Sanu caught 9 passes here for 91 yards, 18.1. He is Matt's pay dirt player of the week.
That's funny. All right, give me his yay. That's why you make deals with me. I'm
always giving quality. Always giving quality. Fucking jeez.
My yard sales, there's some people's houses you go to where the yard sale where you don't even stop. You just kind of look out the window. You may not even roll the window down. You just drive by. Mine, you bring the whole family. All right, give me his Joe Dirt.
Hey, Mark Ingram, man. 10.5. 38.7 last week. That's a letdown. Now he was worth 3 first-round picks. Now he's back down to maybe a second.
Oh, man. All right, Robbie, good win. Let's look at our last matchup of the week. You and Rupp. Rupp put up a fucking 173. Come on, Rupp. Giving you another.
I'm going to have a victory cigarette for this.
Victory? I see you over there. Jesus Christ.
Shit, did I need that cupcake?
I don't know. 259 is a solid score. Who on your team did you love a little more than you did the week before?
I loved everybody. Everybody contributed besides a couple people. Chris Godwin, man. Chris Godwin balled out. He looked like a man. You see him score that touchdown where he just fucking said, "Get the fuck out of my way, number 22," or whoever it was, and just ran him over at the goal line. Yep, that was Chris Godwin. That's my wide receiver.
All right, now who's your Joe Dirt?
It's starting to hurt, man. It's starting to hurt. Juju, man. I don't understand this shit, Mason, what the fuck's his name? Rudolph, this fucking piece of shit, man. If you can only pass to your running backs and your name is not Tom Brady, then you're a fucking loser, okay, in my book. Look at throw the fucking ball to number 19. This is bullshit.
Give me your worryometer with Juju.
I think it's a little bit higher because it's mine. He's mine. He's my guy. That's my wide receiver. I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm at like a 7. I'm at a 7. I don't know. I'm at a 7, man. I just don't fucking think like you think big slot receiver, dumbass fucking quarterback from Big 12 conference. You would think he'd be throwing it to fucking the slot guy, number 19, man.
Especially
this is not playing out, man.
Travis Benjamin's space in the field, you think he get open.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. You know what? Hey, go sign AB. Just go sign AB. That fixes everything.
Let's look at Rep's team. Who laid a goose egg for him?
Dak Prescott. Finally played a good defense. Look what happened. 6.9. Fuck. Does that equal 35 mil? Fuck out of here, Dak Prescott. You are what we thought you were.
Oh, man. Who was his pay dirt?
Oh, man, I've been railing this guy, Nate Dogg. So when I saw him get to 15.8, I had to throw him on the pay dirts, man. Stephon Diggs, bro. Hey, dude, what a weird way to have your coming out party against the fucking Bears, D. Yeah, he had 7 for 108, caught all 7 targets. Good game from Diggs. He's still trash, but this gives Rupp a little bit of hope that the glory days are still here.
There's been rumors that he may get traded. He may not play this weekend. Kind of been a little, I don't know.
Isn't he bitching about it? He's been bitching about his role, hasn't he?
I think everyone's bitching
I
about
thought
Kirk Cousins. Dude, there's a little video, a little Vine or whatever of Cousins. He had a gender reveal back. Did you ever see that or see that floating around now? He's like 10 yards away from a target, and he had a football, and they threw the football to the target, and it popped blue, but he almost missed the fucking target. I'll have to send that to the chat. And people have been clowning him because they're like Stephon Diggs when he saw this, he wanted out or whatever. Blah, blah, blah. All right, week 4. Good shit. We got to move forward to week 5 and give some predictions. We've already had a Thursday night game, so we got a little bit of a head start, a look-see at who's out of the gates the quickest. But we have some good fucking matchups this week. Really exciting. A lot of shuffling is going to happen after this week. We're going to get this talk with this one. 2 4-1 teams, you and Robbie. I hear you talk a little smack already. You're projected to beat Robbie by 20. But Robbie's been strong so far, so we'll see how that shakes out. Looking at it, where is your score and Robbie's? What the hell is your thing? Oh, it's fucking the first one.
It's 36.2 to 32.5.
I got it pulled up now. You've each had 2 people go. He's had 2 offensive players. Gurley, who put up just over 20, and Lockett, who almost put 15. You had Goff at 19.3, and then Clay Matthews, who died. He did something, but he still got you 13.2 points. How do you feel? Where are you at right now? Is Robbie got a leg up on you, or do you got a leg up on Robbie?
This is nothing. This is nobody got the upper hand here. This is nothing. My quarterback, you can say I had the advantage because I had a defensive player go and he had 2 offensive players go and I stayed stayed with them. But one of those, my offensive player was my quarterback. So I just feel like this is much to do about nothing.
You feel good here? You think you're getting the win?
Oh man, yeah, absolutely. It's Robbie, bro. It's still the same old Robbie. I mean, you could shine him up a little bit, but at the end of the day, it's still Robbie, man.
That's some disrespect, DZ. Oh man, this is gonna be good, Robbie. You fucking answer the bell here. You don't go lay up a goose egg. You talk to them guys. You give the pep talk, the pep rally. You make sure they're ready to go.
He better come with more than 201. Okay, because I think my lowest for the year is 214 or some shit.
Yeah, the winner of this game will score more than 201. I'll give you that much. You're obviously taking you. Just for fun, I'm taking Robbie. Let's fucking get it. All right, next matchup. We're going to look at Russell and Flo, a 2-3 Birdman versus the Plainview Crushers, 3-2, both division here. Are we all division this week? We might be all division this week. Russell and Flo's already had 6 people go, put up 100.
Great start.
Great
start for Birdman.
Looking at it just before, looks like Edwards was favored by about 17 points. So good start for Birdman. Go ahead and give me your thoughts on wherever you want to go with it. Let's start with Chris's team, Birdman.
I mean, that's a great start for him, and that's going to be tough for Edwards. Somebody trade this guy Burkhead. Does he have Burkhead? I want to see him start all 3 fucking Patriots running backs.
He does have Burkhead.
Oh my God, get them all in there, Edwards. Fucking Sony Michel, his garbage ass. Get them all in there. Love it.
I don't think Edwards had a bad start by any means. I don't think it's already out of reach.
Cooper.
Um,
Let's talk about real quick, Nate. Let's talk about Cooper Kupp, man. Like, how much do you value that guy? Like, man, he's pretty impressive, bro.
Yeah, he's
good. Like, I mean, is he top 10? Is he top 10 guaranteed right now? I mean, the way the wide receivers are playing this year, fuck, man. Like, I mean, obviously, I'd almost rather have him than Juju, to be honest, right now.
Yeah, redraft. I mean, He
Don't be
might
coming
be
out with
top
some
10.
dumb offer.
He might be top 10.
He's
He's
top.
top 20
I
for
mean,
sure.
well, statistically, he's top 10. But I'm talking about like just in just in your brain, like from a dynasty asset. Cooper Kupp is really nice, and Edwards got this guy late. Lately, I mean, you talk about it. Edwards is killing that draft, especially late, and so is Pete. Man, we got to give those guys credit.
Yep, that's a good call. I still think this one's tight. Good start to Chris Anderson. I'm going to give him the edge. But if you look at who's left, I mean, you still have Larry Fitzgerald, DeAndre Hopkins, Le'Veon Bell, James Conner, Gardner Minshew. Don't forget him. But there's some pretty big names left. George Kittle on Edwards' roster, or if you look on the other side for Anderson, Cole Beasley and D.D. Westbrook don't scare me. But you never know. But I think this one's still going to be a tight game. I'm going to actually go Edwards here with more people left.
Nah, I'm going Russell. I mean, that's a tough start, man. I think Birdman gets this done.
Birdman gets it done. Looking at the next game, we got Rupp versus Matt. Rupp was favored by 15 in this matchup. Both had one guy go. DK put up 12.4, where Matt got 8.7 from his DB. That's not horrible, but pretty much nothing so far. You can't, no real anything. What's your thoughts on this game?
I mean, it's underwhelming. It's uneventful. It's uninspiring. So I guess Rupp in this one.
Rupp, I'm going Matt. Fucking Dak against Green Bay. Green Bay's been tough a little bit. Josh Jacobs against Chicago. I can see some goose eggs getting laid around somewhere.
And he's got TJ Yeldon in there for some whatever reason.
Matt's got Mohamed Sanu. It's over. Newly acquired Damian Williams going to play. O.J. Howard. Matt's getting this one.
Is Damian Williams playing?
Yeah.
He's questionable. It is against your Colts B.
Oh, and the Colts are fucking trash. All right, let's move on to a game. A possible game where I got a chance to win. Fucking dialed in. T.Y. Hilton might be back. Tyreek Hill might almost be back, and maybe I'll ruin some people's playoff chances towards the end of the season if I can't get right. Just a little bit. Who was favored doing this one? Better be me. God damn it! I'm projected 155 points.
Oh,
that's embarrassing. I'm supposed to lose by 20.
love this.
I'm supposed to lose by 20, but that don't mean shit. He had Corey Littleton just put up a little bit of points, not much more than that. 5.9. I'm feeling good.
He was a cut. Littleton was like a cut hair away from blocking a punt, by the way. So you got lucky on that front. I got Jerome, man. Fuck, dude. Nate, the fall is gonna keep falling. What was your losing? What was your losing? He's been doing that all year. What's your losing record? Your losing streak record. Don't you have that, or did Casey pass you? Didn't you have that?
No, dude. Tito has that.
You have losing streak?
I have the second longest losing streak at 9. I'm getting real fucking close to making the top 10 board. I need to get a win. Is all it comes down.
Well, you won 12 in a row last year, so that was kind of nice. The good old days.
The fucking good old days.
Anyways, can we get on to it? You said
we've talked about this, how long, like 1 year in fantasy football is 5 years in real NFL. So that's freaking for real. I'm winning this game. That's it. Let's move on to the next one. We got Casey and Chris Seward. Seward getting only 6.8 from Brandon Cooks, but Casey not starting much better. We're even so far. Kind of looking a little bit at the.
This is all. Seward's been weird this year. I mean, it kind of all just depends on those running backs and Mike Evans. If they pop off, like do that, see that New Orleans Saints game and Tampa Bay game, that could be a little doozy over there. That might be a high scoring game. I feel like Seward's going to get a lot of points right there on that game. I kind of like Seward in this one.
I think I'm going to go Seward too. KC, although I like his team, been putting up some nice points most of the weeks, but he's got some bad luck so far. I'm going Seward here. And our last matchup, 2 more 4-1 teams going head-to-head. Tito and Pete. Tito having 2 guys go. Greg DeLeg fucking up the game winner, but still getting 12 points. Only getting 5.9 from Bobby Wagner. Pete, not much from Aaron Donald. About even.
Quite the paradox here. Zerline, missed that field goal. So so Pete is rejoicing, or no, not rejoicing.
I'm not sure how he feels about the Rams.
I'm sure he'd rather have his Rams win that and take the fucking 4-point hit or whatever it would have been.
Do you think? Who do you like more?
Let's wait to see if he only wins by 3 this week, and then let's ask him if he's rejoicing.
Wouldn't that be some shit? What do you think in this matchup?
I'm picking Pete till further notice, which will probably be once Birdman gets his team ready in like 2022 or something like that.
I'm really scared about Patrick Mahomes putting up 60 on the Colts. That's true. He might do it. The Colts D is not looking good right now. We're missing some secondary pieces.
60?
By halftime. It's going to get ugly this weekend. There's going to be a lot of throwing the ball. I think I'm going to go Pete too as well here. I don't necessarily love his matchups. I think this is going to be a good one, though. I think it's going to be close. I don't think either team's going to blow each other out. I think it's going to be a close one. I'm going to go Tito. Fuck it.
Well, we got some 2.
Most of the time, I'm flipping. I'm going Tito.
Well, we got some 2K to play, so let's not let this video hold us back.
Oh, look at this. All right,
That's your cue right there. That's your cue. Oh, did you have something else you want to talk about?
No, we're just zooming in over on the Colts logo. You're gonna have to check out this part in the video. Maybe whenever you got some free time. But that's it. Another good show. Appreciate you, DZ. Good week. Big week in the EDL. Some 4-1 versus 4-1 matchups. It's gonna look a lot different after the following in a few days. But a little more clarity.
That's
where I was trying to go with it. But hey, the realest Dynasty Fantasy Football League out there.
Hey, love you, Robbie.
What'd you say? All right.